Kawhi Leonard is the best scorer in the NBA. Maybe. He went 17 for 26 against the second best defense in the NBA a couple nights ago for 55 points. And here's the thing, this wasn't just one explosion. Over the last 4 games, Kawhi Leonard is averaging 39 points per game or 68% true shooting. He's taking more threes than ever this season, and he's getting to the line like he's 25 again. And he's putting up the highest scoring average of his career at over 30 years old. Kawhi is one of, if not the best isolation scorer of his era. Usually he posts up at the elbow somewhere in the mid-range with the team flattening out, but the league has continued to throw different coverages at him, and Kawhi has an answer for everything. Let's start with the gap defense that Detroit tried. Right here, we're going to see a wing entry here to Kawhi, and the Clippers are going to go to their traditional mismatch hunting, trying to hunt Duncan Robinson, but because he soft hedges, it allowed Cade time to ample recover. And now look, he's attacking, can't get by Cade, and now Azure is helping aggressively in the nail. Kawhi is forced to give the ball up on the spin, and it overall just blows up the possession, leading to a turnover by Lopez. Right here on this possession, Kawhi is trying to get position in the mid-range for a catch, but Azure is fronting and it forces him out to the three-point line. He rips middle, and because of the nail help, he's forced to do a reset dribble, and as the man clears out, he goes back and attacks middle for the fadeaway. Detroit also tried overloading the wing isolations versus Kawhi, similar to the Celtics in 08 versus Kobe Bryant. Check out this post catch right here on the baseline. He faces up versus Cade, and look at all other 4 defenders not even looking at their mans, all facing towards him in the gaps, which is going to prompt a 45 cut once Kawhi goes baseline to Chris Dunn, and now the Clippers are just playing advantage basketball after that, which leads to a Harden drive and bucket. Right here, Kawhi is pushed out to catch the ball at the three-point line. So he's going to face up, read the defense, cross jab, and then he's going to attack baseline. Stewart is already aggressively helping over. Kawhi reads it, step back, mid-range jumper. So right here from opening tip-off, the Pistons let the Clippers know, hey, Kawhi is not going to get any low post catches. So right here, they're going to set a UCLA screen for Kawhi, which usually flows into a post catch, but they're fronting. So then it flows into a double stagger away to counter that. And then Kawhi flows into an empty ball screen, but Lopez slips, and now Kawhi has a clear side to himself and just gets to work. Now, an interesting wrinkle I saw this game was how Detroit chose to blitz Kawhi. Detroit really chose to blitz him a lot of times, not from up front, but when he chose to turn his back, whether it was getting into a fade or a spin move, etc. It was very nuanced and a very playoff-like adjustment that I noted. Right here, Kawhi starts to attack an early offense. As soon as he turns his back, LeVert is bringing the double aggressively. Kawhi spins baseline for the contested fade and a miss. So here's what we know about Kawhi's isolation game. It's not about just being better than his defender or more athletic than his defender. It's about reading help, countering counters, and making the simple thing work even when everyone knows what's coming. That's what's mastery. That's what's greatness. And that's what has a lot of people comparing him to 96, 97, 98 Jordan. In the pick and roll against Kawhi, the Pistons played a soft hedge primarily because it does 2 things. It deters his historic pull-up jumper, and it keeps the primary matchup on Kawhi. You want to avoid having big men switch out on Kawhi and usually have them around the rim. So that was a nice adjustment from the Pistons, but it didn't work out so well this game. Right here, we're going to see Kawhi already bringing the ball up versus Detroit's defense. And once he gets past half court, Lopez sprints to set a flat ball screen, and no communication just leads to an easy layup. Right here, Clippers going to set a 2-guard high alignment, and Batum's step-up screen gets Kawhi going downhill baseline. But look at Duncan Robinson aggressively coming from the weak side to deter that baseline drive, forces Kawhi to reset and attack middle for the fadeaway J. Not only is Kawhi great on the ball, he's fantastic off the ball as well. Many people forget he was an all-time 3-and-D specialist before he became this isolation creator. And it still allows him to attack defenses in multiple ways depending on the coverage. And that's the beauty of Kawhi's game. If you put a guard on him, he's too big. If you put a big on him, he can work him off ball. If the big is mobile, there's just always a counter to the counter to the counter in Kawhi's game. And that's what makes him, once again, I say, a version of late Mike. Now, this game wasn't all bad for Detroit. Along with the blitzes when Kawhi spun his bat, I think they found something with Isaiah Stewart guarding Kawhi Leonard, because he's strong enough to absorb that outlier strength, and he's mobile enough where Kawhi really isn't the quickest to stay with him and force him into some tough misses. Now, this play off the ball here was a nice counter from the Clippers. It's a sideline out of bounds play, and they're going to set a down screen for Kawhi and get them chasing, and it forces a just easy pull-up jumper. We're going to rewind this bit for a second and get back into this clip so we can break it down a little bit more. Let's look at this play again and see why it works. K opens up because he doesn't want to switch on to Kawhi, but with Stu trailing, he's forced to peel switch, and when you peel switch, it opens up a slither for a mid-range jumper. But here's what's really interesting. Let's talk about Kawhi this season, despite the Clippers' underwhelming performance. He's taking 6.5 threes per game, which is the most of his career, and making them at a 37% clip. He's getting to the line 6 times per game, which is the most since his ages 25 through 28 seasons, when he averaged 7 free throws a game. And he's hitting them at 97%, arguably the greatest free throw shooting season ever. He's averaging 27.5 points per game, which is the most of his career, and the advanced metrics love him despite the Clippers' flaws. 30.5 points per 75 on plus 4.5 relative to shooting, and he's 7th in long mid-range percentage at 51.4% and 4th in short mid-range percentage at 51.7%. And here what's actually interesting about Kawhi Leonard. He's not doing anything new. He's not revolutionizing the game or his game. He's doing the same thing he's always done, and that's be the surgical scoring assassin that leaves defenses hopeless. And when you're this good in the mid-range, and I mean historically a top 5 mid-range shooter ever, and when you can create a slither of separation at any time because of your footwork, your fakes, and your overwhelming strength, while maintaining elite efficiency so defenses have to guard you differently, that puts you in the conversation, or in some eyes, as the best scorer in the NBA. So is Kawhi Leonard the best scorer in the NBA? Maybe. The numbers say he's right there. The film test says he's also in discussion, and he's just as hard to guard as anyone in the league. So here's what we know for sure. Kawhi Leonard is having the most impressive scoring season of his career, and in the league that's always changing, and sometimes the best thing you can be is the best version of yourself. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know where you think Kawhi Leonard ranks as a scorer today.